Hello everyone, on today's IRS tax refund update, we'll catch up on the latest developments, including the next round of tax refunds scheduled for release this week. We'll also take a look at the remaining backlog of unprocessed tax returns as well as amended returns. We'll then look at some of the top refund delays still impacting taxpayers, as well as some of those tax transcript codes, after which we'll take a look at the tool available on the IRS website that may help in the processing of your tax return quicker if you're required to submit certain documentation to the IRS. Starting off with the next round of tax refunds scheduled for release this week, with the next batch of direct deposit refunds scheduled to be transmitted to banks on August 9th. For those part of this latest batch, do allow up until August 14th for it to post to your bank account, while most receive that direct deposit the day of. Meanwhile, the next batch of paper checks will be printed and mailed out by the IRS on August 11th, as confirmed by the tax transcript seen here, with most receiving within 7 to 10 days. Turning to the backlog of unprocessed tax returns, still at 2.1 million remaining. Now, this includes both e-file and paper returns filed this year, as well as those left over from last year. Now, among that number include 1.6 million e-file returns and those requiring special processing, while the backlog of paper returns is now down to 548,000. Now, while the IRS has not given a time frame in which all of these will be completed, we're expecting these delays to carry on towards the end of the year at this point. For those of you waiting on amended tax returns, we saw another 70,000 processed since our last update, with a total in process now at 1.2 million. Processing times for these continue to average 7 months. However, for several of our viewers recently, they waited closer to that 5-month mark. With these returns processed at a much slower rate, it is likely this backlog will in fact carry on until at least the end of the year based on current processing trends. Make sure to check your tax transcripts for the most up-to-date information. Turning to the ongoing tax processing and refund delays, with a number of our viewers still unaware what the exact cause of their delay even is. Now, for those e-filers still waiting, unlike paper tax return filers, your delay is not simply due to the IRS not having a chance to process your return. There is a specific issue that is causing the delay at this point, and some of those delays may require further action by you first before the processing of your tax return can continue. If your return is under audit, which continues to impact a high percentage of those still waiting, it is very likely the IRS has or will be requesting documentation from you so they can complete the audit and approve the refund for release. If you see a 971 code on your transcript within the last 1 to 2 months and you've not received a notice during that time frame, it is advised for you to call the IRS to see what documentation may be needed. It could be due to EITC or the fuel tax credit. ID verification is another cause for delays and something you must complete before processing continues. Another major reason for delays is the IRS has still not processed your employer's wage information, which the IRS must match versus what you're reporting on your returns. However, this one is really out of your control, but there are cases in which the IRS will ask those impacted by this to submit a copy of their W-2 and pay stubs as almost a substitute so they can continue processing of your tax return. If you're among this group, you may want to ask the IRS if you can in fact submit those documents so that processing can continue. Many viewers are still reporting seeing tax topic 151 on their refund status results, which indicates there is a potential issue identified with the tax return resulting in further review. Those impacted often see the 570 and 971 tax transcript codes appear as well. As a reminder, the 570 and 971 codes, if they have the same date, the IRS has autocorrected the issue and the refund has been cleared for release. However, if they have different dates, it means the IRS will continue to work on the issue. Now, if the IRS is requesting documentation from you this year, unlike in the past, you may be able to get a resolution much quicker than usual, and that is because of the documentation upload tool on the IRS website as seen here. Now, if you receive documentation requests from one of several IRS letters, such as the CP 75, 05, or 08 notices, you now have the ability to upload the documents instead of having them mailed back to the IRS. This will cut down weeks, if not months, of additional delays as a result, and should be used over regular mail. Another item being seen by some taxpayers when checking their refund status results on the IRS website is encountering reference number 1242 as seen here. Now, this code confirms the tax return was received electronically and has been selected for review as a result, causing the return and refund to be frozen until the review process is complete. Now, oftentimes for those calling in with this code, they're simply being told by the IRS to wait an additional 60 days as a result, with no further clarification on the issue. Let us know in the comment section below about your ongoing tax refund issue, including when and how you filed your tax return. In the meantime, we'll keep monitoring the situation for further developments, so make sure to click on the thumbs up and subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.